it's Marita Marbar Makeup here. So let's do a everyday routine makeup look today. I already primed my face. No, I didn't prime my face, I'm sorry. I already moisturized my face. So I'm gonna go in with my Second Skin Primer Drops by Absolute. I bought this at my local beauty supply store. Just gonna use a couple of drops on my face. And just rub that in. And whatever I have left on my fingers, I'm going to rub on my forehead. I have a mirror over to the side here if you're wondering why. I'm looking to my left. Next up, I'm going to use my e.l.f. poreless putty primer. And I'm just going to apply that around my nose and on my nose. And this primer really does make your skin look flawless. It looks very much so poreless when you're using it. And these are the main areas that my pores are the biggest. So after I do that, I'm going to start with my face first. Normally if I'm doing my makeup, I will do my eyes first and then my face, but since it's going to be like a natural no makeup look, I'm going to just go ahead and start with my face because I'm not going to be using too many eyeshadows, so I won't have a lot of fallout. So here we go. Okay, I'm jumping in with a voiceover at this point because my allergies were just so bad that this day that I was filming, so I didn't want you guys to have to keep hearing me with the sniffles throughout the whole video. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going in right now with my e.l.f. Oil-Free Medium Coverage Foundation in the shade Caramel 450. And I didn't mean to put my foundation on first. I meant to color correct before applying my foundation, which you will see now. I meant to put on my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define 16-hour wear, and I'm using the shade C13. And as you can see now, I am going back in with my e.l.f. foundation and applying it all over my face, and I'm using my Sonia Kashuk blending sponge that I purchased at Target. Now I'm going to go in with my concealer. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Coverage Concealer in the shade 410 Almond. And I'm just applying that underneath my eyes. And I'll blend it out with this new sponge that I just bought. It's by e.l.f. It's their the Camo Concealer Sponge. And I like it. I bought it in Target the other day. And it blends out very nicely. So yeah, I'm just doing that right now. And you want to make sure that you blend your concealer out very well, especially before you set it with any setting powder. Make sure you blend out your concealer as good as you can. Like, blend, blend, blend. That's all I can keep telling you. It's just blend it out. Okay, now that I'm done blending out the shade 410, I'm going to go into my inner corner and apply the shade 405, which is Toffee Caramel. And I'm going to let that sit for a minute just so it can like dry down some, so I can get the best coverage that I can from that concealer. And on my eyelid, I'm going to put the shade 410. I'm going to use that as my eyeshadow base. I like using concealer for my eyeshadow base. It helps for the shadows to adhere to your eyelid better. Well, I like it better than eye primers, to be honest. And it can help make your colors more pronounced too. So yeah, I like using concealer as an eyeshadow base. And as you can see, I'm taking that e.l.f. Camel sponge and blending out all of that concealer once again. And I'm going to pick up my Sonia Kashuk sponge once again, and I'm just tapping back in all over my face underneath that concealer. I didn't add any extra product. I'm just using the sponge at this point to blend everything in together so that you don't see any harsh lines between the foundation and the concealer. Now I'm picking up my Beauty Bakery Flour Better Not Bitter setting powder, and it's in Oat Translucent. And before I apply that setting powder underneath my eyes, I go back in with my sponge and tap out my concealer just to make sure that I don't have any creasing. This is very important. You don't want to set underneath your eyes without doing this step. You don't want any creasing underneath your eyes. It just is not a good look. So make sure you take that time. Take your sponge or your brush or whatever that you're using to apply your concealer with, and make sure you get all your creases out first before setting your concealer. I'm just taking a small fluffy brush. I believe this came in a set from Eco Styles, or excuse me, Eco Tools. I bought this out of Walmart a couple of years ago, so I've had it for a while. I can't even tell you the name of it. They probably don't even make this little mini set anymore. It's a nice little traveling mini set, brush set that I can't talk today. Yeah, so it's a nice little brush set that I bought from Walmart a couple of years back. So I'm just using it to set underneath my eyes. I'm also tapping out that concealer on my eyelid. Once again, you don't want any creasing in your eyelid or underneath your eyes before setting it with powder. And I'm setting my eyelid with my Maybelline Fit Me foundation in Toffee. I believe it's 330. Yes, 330 Toffee. And I'm setting my eyelid with that before I even go in with my eyeshadow look for the day. And I'm taking a little bit of that Toffee face foundation underneath my eyes as well. I really don't want my underneath eyes underneath eyes. I really don't want underneath my eyes to be bright, if that makes any sense. So I try to tone it down with my foundation powder. Going in with my MAC Studio Fix foundation press powder in the shade NC55, and I'm going to set all around my face except for underneath my eyes. I'm just going to set around that area with this foundation press powder and my forehead. Next up, I'm going to be contouring my face. I'm using my CoverGirl Queen collection in ebony bronze. I don't think they make nor sell this product anymore. It is an old bronzer that I've had for a while. I've actually hit pan on it. That's how long I've had it. So yeah, I'm gonna just contour my cheekbones, a little bit on the forehead and the jawline, and blend it down towards my neck a little bit. And I'm using a Wet n Wild brush, that a fluffy Wet n Wild brush that I actually purchased in Dollar Tree the other day. I like it because it's just a fluffy brush, so I'm not going to have too much product on my face because it's really not going to pick up much since the brush is so light and fluffy. So yeah, I don't like a harsh contour. I like mine to be subtle, but still a little bit noticeable, but subtle. So now we are taking the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso, and I'm just applying that to my cheeks, and whatever product is remaining on the brush, I just kind of swipe it across my nose a little bit. No rhyme or reason, it's just something that I like to do. So yeah, I like this blush. It's very, very pretty. It has like some shimmers in it, so it kind of gives you this healthy glow to your face, to your cheeks. And I am now picking up my Revlon sorry, I'm looking at the name right now. I'm picking up my Color Stay Mineral Finishing Powder, and this is in 030 Sunkiss. And I'm just going to apply that to the high points of my cheeks, a little bit on the forehead, down the bridge of my nose, across the tip of my nose, and my chin. And I'm just doing this just for a nice little glow to the face. So next up, I'm taking my Morphe continuous setting spray, and I just sprayed my face to help set all the powders that I applied to my face and the foundation. I went enough camera, let that dry down, and did one eye off camera as well. So now I'm back on, and we're gonna start this eye look. So now I'm using the Chocolates by Juvia's palette, and I'm showing you the eyeshadow that I'm gonna use. The palette doesn't have names to their eyeshadows, so I'm using a IBY beauty brush to apply that shadow with underneath my eyebrow. And this brush I got in a Etsy bag a couple of years back, and so I know I did show that Morphe find it online M535 brush at first, sure if, like, but I forgot that I needed to put down my brow color first before applying my crease color. I'm just going to apply that eyeshadow right underneath my eyebrow. And I'm going to be blending that eyeshadow into the crease and up towards my brow, but not directly under the brow, just towards it, just to blend it out, just to give it a soft finish, make it look natural. And also, please pay attention to how I'm holding my brush. I'm trying to get in closer so you can see I'm angling it at a certain way so that most of the product is going into my crease and just diffusing out towards my brow a little bit. Next up, I'm picking up the Chocolates palette again by Juvia's Place. And I want to make a correction. I used originally the 506 when I first did my crease color. And the brush that I'm using right here is the 535. It's a little more dense. It's still a blending brush, but it's a little shorter. It's a little more dense than the 506. So I'm sorry, I misinformed you of the brush that I was using the very first time. But yeah, I'm taking that color and I'm just placing it in my outer corner, making sure that most of the color is in the outer corner and blending the rest into the middle of my crease. And I'm just going to go back and forth with the brushes. Not so much adding more color with that one Juvia's Place shadow that I used to start with. I'm just really more so adding extra color with the second color. Oh my gosh, that sounds so confusing. But the darker brown, I should say. I'm just applying more of that to the eye just to build up the pigmentation of the color. If that makes any sense. I'm so sorry. This voiceover is all over the place today. I apologize, but if you're watching the video, you see what I'm doing. And as always, you want to make sure that you're blending out your eyeshadow. You don't want any harsh lines left behind. Make sure you blend, 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 and blend again. And I'm sorry for flashing you guys with that mirror. I did not mean to do that. I apologize. So now I'm taking that dark brown eyeshadow and I'm going to place it in my lower lash line. And I'm literally just placing it there because I don't want a lot of fallout since I already have my face products on. So I'm just patting that into my lower lash line. And then I'll take another smudger brush and softly blend that out. And now I'm picking up that 535 brush once again. And I am going to pick up the dark brown that's in the Juvia Place palette. And I'm going to connect my lower lash line up to the color that's in my crease so that it all blends in well together. Picking up that Chocolates palette again from Juvia's Place. I'm going to be taking that shade that I just pointed to, and I'm actually going to be using the tip of my finger to apply that shadow in the middle of my eyelid. And I'm doing that because I want it to be a subtle look. I don't want it to be so pigmented and bright. So yeah, I'm just using my fingertip just to apply it lightly to the middle of my eyelid. Now before I apply my mascara, I'm going to use my Rimmel London Scandal Eyes eyeliner. It's in the shade Nude, and I'm just going to place that in the waterline to give my eyes a brighter look. And after doing that, I'm going to apply my Clinique High Impact Extreme Volume Mascara. And I like this mascara as well. I have, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, my allergies are bad. So this mascara is pretty good. It doesn't make my eyes water at all. Even though it kind of looks like my eyes are watering right there, but that's because my allergies have already been acting up before I even started doing my makeup. So yeah, it's just what you got to deal with when you have allergies like all year round. So yeah, anyway, I'm applying that mascara to my top lash and also to the bottom lash. And then after that, we'll get ready to put on our falsies. Next up, I'm going to be taking that Revlon Color Stay Mineral Finishing Powder. And I'm taking a Vasanti brush. I also got this brush in an Itsy bag a couple of years back. And I'm going to take that and put that mineral finishing powder in the inner corner of my eyes and a little bit underneath the brow bone, just to give it a nice little pop of glow. So yeah, just trying to bring out all the high points of my face where the sunlight would naturally hit. Next up, I will be applying my eyelash today. I'm using the Eye Envy Multi-Angle and Volume 3D lash, and it's in 103. And I'm also using my Duo eyelash glue to apply this eyelash to my eyelashes. And sorry, you're not really seeing a very good angle of me applying the lash, but I think you can pretty much kind of get the feel of how to apply them. Let me know down in the comments. Maybe you might want to see me apply my lashes, or try to get some pointers or some tips on how to apply them. They can be tricky sometimes, believe me when I tell you, especially depending on how it's made too. So yeah, if you'd like me to do a video on that, I'd be glad to do that. Just let me know down in the comments. And now I'm just going in once more just to make sure all my shadows are well blended out, and applying a little bit more, just a little bit more of that dark brown to the outer corner of my eye, just to make sure that I have enough pigmentation there, basically. And when I do my so-called natural everyday look, I don't wear lipstick, especially in this day and time where we have to wear a mask all the time. I don't want it getting all over my mask, so I just put a little chapstick on to my lips, and that's it. I'm now curling my eyelash. Well, not so much curling the eyelash, but just trying to adhere the lash better to my own lashes. So I'm pressing it together with the eyelash curler. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of this makeup look today. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.